Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
And I'm Brian Mix.
We got almost everybody here. What's going on? Extra special show. Okay.
Yep.
So
Sure.
we're going to do two divergent things. We're going to talk Shatner Weekend, which Brian and I were at. Was it last weekend? Or
Yeah.
as you
weekend.
listened to this a couple weeks ago. And we're going to talk Supergirl, the movie. Brian, you saw it, right? Or
I did.
You did. Okay. We're going to talk. So we're two different things, but stuff that are timely and we want to talk about. So.
And they both start with S. Shatner, Supergirl.
That's right.
Shatner,
You know.
Star Trek, Supergirl,
Superhero.
Whatever.
It's all good.
superhero, cryptocurrency, Shatner. See how it all fits
Put
together?
all those keywords in, and we may just increase viewership. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All that
Especially
good
crypto.
stuff. Yeah, crypto. Yeah. This is the good crypto, not the bad crypto.
Put
Well, although he is bad technically.
Yes.
It's
a
not
good
the
dog.
worthless
He's not
crypto.
bad. He's just not a good dog.
Not
He's
even a
not
good dog.
I think he's a good dog. But I do like your bat signal in the back there. That definitely adds a very nice
I have to say
background.
that I put the batteries in when I got that probably 8 or 9 years ago, and I just flicked it on, and it works. So
It's shocking that it didn't rust the whole thing up like
yeah, I know. It's
always
great.
happens.
It's,
But we'll see if through the
without
course
really
of the show it
intending
starts to dim.
I think I have 6 or 7, maybe 8 bat signals in different scales, because they'll come with a set, and this is part of the set, and,
Oh.
and a couple of the Hot Toys figures came with them and whatnot. But like I said, this is the one that persists. That every time I turn this on, it lights up. So
My favorite is the one you have on your roof. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
6
Dave,
feet
the one
across.
the bat emblem that you gave me, I put in the oval window that faces the street, and it's like 18 feet up in our stairway. I can't get it out. I put it up there I put it up there on the end of a pole. I left there
Did you
8 years ago. It's been there ever since. But when the lights are on the inside, there's a bat signal.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll send you a picture of it at some point. It's particularly cool in the winter. It stands out. But
Yeah.
yeah.
At some point, he's
That's
going to
awesome.
show up at your house and be like, all right, I'm here. What's the
What is it?
emergency?
What
Well,
is
what
it?
do you want?
What do you
What do you
want?
need? I need help unscrewing this.
I need help
this
getting it
light
down.
bulb.
Can you help
Can
get
you
up there?
rappel up and get this out of the window? Yeah.
Exactly. So we got a lot to talk about. Before we do that, can't not mention Fanboy Collectibles. I don't know what came out already, but there is a Hot Toys Badlands, Predator Badlands, Thea and the little monster
That's new,
Bud.
yep.
I don't know that they had that before. They
No,
did have the
one
Predators.
they had, I think, didn't have the legs. It was just her torso,
Right.
and
It
she
was
went on the
with
back.
It was with the other
With the
figure.
Yeah, but that was that's such a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, see it. But that's a cool figure. X06 McCoy from the JJ universe. X06 Strange New Worlds #1 from Rebecca
On its
Romaine.
way.
thing.
It's being shipped.
Yeah,
It's
she's
in stock. So they got all kinds of stuff. There's Chewbacca and C-3PO in stock. I don't know if it may be pre-orders because they had people's names on it, but
Yeah, mine was up there at some point today. It is now gone because I paid for my pre-order. So
oh really? That's what.
after
But anyway, that may or may not be
679
available.
days on pre-order, it's finally going to be coming to my house.
So all that stuff, plus Hot Toys of all other kinds, and Sideshow, and Kotobukiya, and statues, and all these new companies. Like what did we have last week? We had Blokies, and we had that PCS Vader. So they're
Oh my God,
bringing in
that's awesome.
all the new companies as they come out with figures and statues and stuff.
There's
so check
there's
those
a
guys
King
out.
Tutankhamun head statue.
That is very
up there.
cool looking.
That's super cool.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, and tell them the Regular Joe sent you.
Danger Island Models is another sponsor. We've been talking about them for the last few weeks. Those guys are great. They've got a lot of different models up on their site. I know we've talked a bunch about the monster scenes and the prehistoric scenes, but they've also got these really great, like 1/16 scale women, sci-fi women, for lack of I don't know if that collection has a name, but they've
Mike's
got
Minis.
Oh yeah, they're Mike's Minis, and they've got the Android Hunter and a bunch of different like sci-fi women that are, and they're affordable. They're like $40
The Colonel from Buck Rogers. I don't know if we're allowed to say her name, but
Colonel.
We all know who she is.
And there will be more of these because I've been talking to Mike about it. So
Yeah. So there's some cool. There's more than just the things we've already talked about. Go check out their site at dangerislandmodels.com. If you buy something and you use the code Regular Joes, you get free domestic shipping. So check them out at dangerislandmodels.com.
and
All right.
if we want to offer another challenge, maybe Aaron Gray should show up at Wonderfest. Steve,
Yeah, hey, there you go.
I'm going to
Yes.
name someone every week.
Steve is listening, and Steve does respond to me after Dave asks for these things on the show.
Well,
So
they've got her this big, so they've got the files. They could print her in a 12-inch figure if they needed to, easily.
sure. And
If
then
you could make her 5'6", that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
right, but unlike a lot of the things that we saw at Wonderfest, these guys don't 3D print their kits. They're all sculpted and molded and
Oh, that's
cast.
right.
yep.
That's right.
But I'm sure
Yeah,
they
it's
could sculpt
sculpting.
up a 1/6 scale Wilma Deering
Yeah.
or Aaron Gray in
1/6,
Or the Colonel.
1611.
whatever.
Whatever you need. Yeah, check those guys out.
check them out.
Okay, so the preface I will give is I think for most of the past 6 years, William Shatner has gone up to the Star Trek set tour in Ticonderoga, New York, twice a year, give or take, because maybe there was COVID or something, and is there for the weekend. And
It's like
we
bird migration. It just
Yeah.
it's like-
so
But he's
Brian
not just
definitely
there. He gives tours, and it's like a whole
tours
event.
and chats and signs autographs and takes pictures and all kinds of stuff. But Brian was able to tie a couple things into for the Galileo, and I'll let him talk about that. But keep in mind, as everything we're talking about, Shatner is 95. And having been a foot away from him, if someone said, oh yeah, he's 80, it would be like, all right, he looks good for 80. Dude's an animal.
Yeah.
Right, Brian.
Yeah.
I'll let you go from there.
Well, we were able to book him to do a couple of great little mini events before the big event in September for his trip this time, and it's we did a shuttle preview. The shuttle's not in the building yet because the building's not finished, so we had it stored off-site, and we arranged to have Bill come, and so 20 people bought tickets to tour the shuttle, so they got to walk around it, take a zillion pictures of themselves with the shuttle, and then
So
we had
Brian,
Bill
if
come
I
in.
can just jump in for a second,
Yeah.
because we actually have been getting some new people listening to the show. It's possible
okay.
somebody doesn't know what we're talking about, so I just want to set the
Let's-
stage.
yes.
Right, you've been leading the charge on the Kickstarter campaign to build a shuttle bay at the Star Trek set tour in Ticonderoga for the actual original Galileo shuttle to be a permanent display at the set tour. And
Right.
so when you're talking about the shuttle, we're talking about the actual full-size
The Galileo
shuttlecraft from
The
Star Trek.
full-size prop from the
Right.
show.
And
Yeah.
and
Right.
they're in the process of building a building to hold this thing in that will become part of the set tour. Sorry, I just wanted to
And there
make
was
sure.
there was a big Kickstarter that was very successful, but we are still. Brian obviously was leading the charge on this with a guy named Dave Harvey to raise more money to keep, because there's video walls that are being put in that, so there's still A, money needed, and B, opportunities to help support the project and also buy some cool stuff. So we'll get into all
Yeah,
that. But
we got lots of
Sorry,
cool
I
stuff
just
on our
wanted to
site
make
for
sure
sale.
that everybody knew what.
yes, good
this was.
points,
Right.
Barry.
It
point.
was good, Barry, because we've talked about it a number of times, but yeah, it's been a while since we've explained everything.
Yeah.
And this is the part of the show when Dave will put up a picture, because he's editing, of Shatner with the shuttlecraft.
And we
So
don't want to say those things, but yes, that is
you can
correct.
see that photo. You'd see the photo of Shatner with the shuttlecraft and holding Barry's model. that Todd owns.
Which is, it's such a cool thing that I built the model, Todd owns it, and now we've got a picture of Shatner holding
So
it.
I actually want, when it comes back to me, I want to have Dave make a plaque for it, so that Barry built it, I owned it, Brian borrowed it, and Dave built it. So it's like all
Yeah.
four of us.
Oh, yeah. And we've been using that model inside of a little
Mock-up.
mock-up of what the shuttle bay is going to look like to show people. And it's going to be surrounded by video walls, so it's going to be like its own little holodeck, so it can travel the planets and it can fly through space. And but the 8K video walls are expensive, and we bought 3 of them, so that's why we're still raising funds. Bill helped us with that. People had a great time. And then the big event was we had a very exclusive dinner with Bill
did
Shatner.
you mention? So yeah,
What?
so we did. People got to see the shuttle and get their picture taken
And
with Shatner, which was
it was a photo op with Shatner. I used my photo op to get a picture of Barry. Dave's got a picture with Bill as well in front of the shuttle, and those people went away very happy. And then came the dinner.
I could not get those people out of there. Brian had to go to the next event, and it was my job to get people. I mean, as a nerd myself, they are taking 1,000 pictures. Some guy was taking like every square foot. I'm like, you got to get out of here. I really had to
I'm gonna
really
build
push
one
them.
when I get home. It's like,
Yeah, but they loved it. They were thrilled, and we did have Adam and Leslie, Adam was on the show, who bought the original shuttle and had it restored and donated to NASA, and through NASA now at the set tour. He was there. They were thrilled to see what great shape it's in, because they've been cleaning it up and working on it. So they were there, and they were at the dinner as well. So anyway.
Yeah, and the dinner was a big event where 10 people got to sit down and have dinner with Bill Shatner, and we had a rules sheet that said no autographs, no.
It was
no
a rule
selfies,
sheet that was
no
this
pictures.
long. That was
List
this
of
long.
rules.
That was great. I have it somewhere.
But
is
the
it like NDA also. It was like,
yeah, and BD was and we got to mention BD. BD is our silent partner, who helped put together this dinner, and he did a fantastic job. And
He's an awesome
sitting-
dude, by the way.
He was sitting, awesome dude too. He was sitting across from Bill, and he said Bill sat down and read the entire list, and I think that helped because he knew no one was going to bug him. Because Bill has 2 modes. Bill has Bill mode and Bill has William Shatner mode. There's when he's being Bill and fun, and there's when he's working. And when he's on the set, he's working. And we wanted him to be Bill at the dinner, and he really was. I've seen him dozens of times now, and I've never seen him laugh and smile so much as he did at that dinner.
That's
table.
great.
It was great.
Let me backtrack a second. So
Yeah.
Shatner Weekend is Thursday to Sunday, and so Thursday he wasn't there. He came in Friday, and
Right.
Friday he had a set tour, a bridge chat. I think the set tour was supposed to be at 5:00. Then a bridge chat. Those are 2 separate things. If you ever go to the thing, the studio, you'll know. Then it was to the shuttle bay that was half a mile away, the shuttle warehouse where it was, and then to dinner. So I know, having known Brian for as many years as I've known him, he was a little on edge because if Shatner's flying in from somewhere else, and he was supposed to land at 4 in Burlington, Vermont, or wherever the hell he was,
Burlington,
get
Vermont.
driven to the set tour 45 minutes away, then do the chat, then do the tour, the chat, and if he's an hour late, everything gets thrown out of chaos. We basically, or Brian and this guy BD had taken over this whole restaurant, who were awesome. They were fantastic, these people. We'll talk more about them.
Well,
But
before you go any further, I do want to say, because if you did put that picture up, we should just be clear. Where the shuttle is right now is not at the set tour. It's
in
at
a
another
warehouse right
location
now.
because the set tour building is still being built, so they haven't moved the
Right.
shuttle over yet. So you guys had to go to another location to have Bill take his
Right.
picture with everybody.
And so Bill showed up 15 minutes late to the set. So he was in LA. He flew to Colorado, got changed planes, flew to Burlington, Vermont, got in a car. They hit some traffic. He was 15 minutes late arriving at the set. So I figure he's going to be at least 15 minutes late getting to us. So we leave. So the set tour, he walks the whole set tour. That's supposed to be an hour. the bridge chat. He sits in the captain's chair, and 20 people sit around him, chat with Bill for an hour. And I figured he'd be 15 minutes late. He was 5 minutes early, and it threw me because we were not ready.
We were not ready. We were still
not ready.
wrangling people in the photo area to
And
get.
I'm sure he showed up and was like, "All right, let's go."
He showed us
right?
ready,
Yes.
but we got everything done, and they left by 7 o'clock to go to the restaurant, and we're early to the restaurant.
Right. I
And-
hightailed it onto there to get to the restaurant, make sure we're set up. And I walk in the restaurant, I look out the window, and they're pulling in. They were right behind me. Yeah.
But and I do think it has a lot. Bill seemed like he was in a good mood, and when he walked in,
Yeah.
and all that, he was very generous at the photos in the thing, which were quick, and then at the dinner. And credit to Brian, certainly credit to BD. He had a great time. We got a great Bill Shatner at this
Yeah.
dinner.
Now,
Absolutely.
and I know that
And-
you guys were not at the table with Bill with those 10 people, but was it a small enough thing that you were able to hear the
Oh yeah,
conversation?
it was like a table of 10. This is looking down. Table of 10. Another table of 10. We were right, and we had that whole restaurant to ourselves.
Yeah.
It was a small
That's
restaurant.
great.
What's the name of the
You guys
restaurant?
got the full
It's named
experience.
Eddie's.
Eddie's in Ticonderoga, New York. Not only were they super helpful, awesome to do everything. The food was fantastic. The service was amazing. Even at the end, they helped clean out our glasses that we were taking home with us. Really, you can't have had a better restaurant experience with that.
And
Anyway.
BD pulled out all the stops. Every person who showed up at the dinner got a pair of glasses that have Galileo written on them. If you can see, hold up against my shirt, you can see Galileo
Yeah.
written on them with your name.
Now these are not like etched with like sandblasting. These are cut
They're
into
cut,
crystal
yeah.
glasses. This is no joke.
high quality.
These are
yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
They're all, and everyone had their last name on them.
Yep. So we have extras of these. So what? And everyone also got this little box at their table, at their place setting. That's has a little card that says "Thank you for your service" and a badge in it.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
And this
So-
this BD paid. I'll cut this out if I can't say it. Paid for the dinner for everybody. Bought all these glasses and everything, and all this stuff. Arranged all this stuff. It was awesome.
So he's a big time supporter, which is amazing.
Huge
He's
supporter.
the biggest. He is by far the biggest supporter of the shuttle project.
And he's one of those guys who you talk to him and you're like, this guy is the most awesome guy, super positive, just totally
Always
into
positive, yeah.
everything, just really,
And
really cool.
so he bought extra glasses, and Bill was kind enough to autograph them. This would be tougher to see.
yeah,
so
no,
these-
that's perfect. You can see that.
These glasses were at the dinner. They were left over at the end, and Bill signed them. And we'll be putting these up on the webpage for sale as well.
Those are
'cause he was kind
incredibly
enough to do
rare.
that for us.
And again,
Yeah,
that
incredibly rare.
those for sale goes towards paying for the building and the video walls and supporting.
Right.
the
We donated a
project.
couple of these to Bill for his horse charity. Every time they have the Admiral's dinner, which is Bill and 100 people at the hall across the street from the set tour. They always do an auction for his horse charity, where he has horses that help underprivileged kids climb out of whatever hole they're in with his horses. And so we donated a couple of these to him, and they sold for $2,000 a piece. So that was really good for him and his charity.
That's awesome.
So we'll be selling those on the site, and I think we're going to put these little kits together with glasses and a little thing as well. So it's like even if you couldn't make the dinner, you can have all the cool
Yeah.
stuff we got at the dinner.
Yeah, it was super. I was like, really? My name was just added to the list like 5 days before, and here is an extra glass with my name in the Star Trek font, no less.
Yeah.
Those are great.
These are awesome, by the way.
Well, and so Dave, you were there to help raise money, right? You guys had a table at the set tour to
Yeah,
sell merch
so-
to raise money.
We had you guys have been there in the lobby. We had a table with all the stuff that was included in the Kickstarter, but now they're on backer kit, and you could still buy them Brian will say the website if you know what it would. How do you get to that?
It's a very long address that Dave will put up on
Backer
the
Kid
screen
Galileo
right here.
Shuttle. Yeah. Oh Jesus! Now let me write that time down.
20 minutes, 22 seconds in, Dave.
Hold
And
on.
the other thing Dave has done is this might be a good place to put a commercial for Dave's workshop.
Oh,
Is,
sure.
Dave's made these for us. So these are display plaques with a piece of the actual Galileo and a piece of the actual 11-foot Enterprise. We've talked about them before.
That's in the Smithsonian.
In the Smithsonian, both ships were restored and pieces were left behind that had to be replaced. And we got some of those pieces and made these plaques. So there's a really nice. This is both ships, and then Dave has also put together a little one of just the shuttlecraft.
Those
And
things
these are the
beautiful.
special editions. There's
Yeah.
10 of each of these in gold. We had the previous one we sold out of in white. That's gone.
Yep.
We were able to get more stuff, so we're now made special editions in gold.
The white ones were only available to Kickstarter folks, but now these are available individually to folks after that. And thanks to James Cawley, who gave us his last piece of the Enterprise, which I have right here in the back. That's all that's left. They were able to make the last 10 plaques, so that's going to be it.
Yeah, but there's also the hats, the shirts, the shirt Todd's wearing.
Yeah, tilt that.
To
There
put
it
them
is,
on.
there
There
it
you
is,
go.
yeah.
There's pins. There's patch that Mike Okuda designed and was made by the company that makes the NASA patches. There's the displays that you can get. There are. You can have your name. We're doing a big. There's the pin. We're doing a big gold plaque on the wall in the shuttle bay that has special donors' names on there. You can get your name on that plaque. Then there's a silver plaque. You can get your name on that. So there's ways to help. And everyone puts their name on stuff, and it's cool. But all it is to recognize that these people are pledging money to help support this
Right, to make the
huge
shuttle
endeavor.
happen. Yeah.
The idea that you could own an actual piece of the Enterprise is mind-boggling when you think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
60 years of Star Trek fandom and decades of Star Trek collecting, and nobody ever thought that they could own a piece of the original
Piece of the
Enterprise.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing it when I was 11 years old in the 70s in for the first time in the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
And you can have a piece of it. So
So
we
the
sold a
Bill
bunch of
Shatner-
stuff that weekend. I was only there Thursday and Friday, and I guess Saturday you sold a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
we did really well. We did really well.
So
It was great.
that was a lot of fun. Talked to a lot of cool Star Trek fans. People are very into this stuff. It's awesome.
And we will be at the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas in a month as well, with a table there. If you want to come by and pick something up, don't want to
And
order
then
online,
there
or
is
take
the
it home,
big
we'll have it there.
unveiling in September up in Ticonderoga. So
Oh, we
this
should
is
mention
Shatner
that, yeah.
Weekend, but the
not
actual
a-
unveiling of the Shuttle Bay is September, right?
The shuttle will be in the Shuttle Bay in September. We're gonna have a big event with Star Trek stars and writers and people who worked on the show. It's gonna be
And the regular
really
Joes will be
fun
there.
weekend.
All the
And
regular Joes will be there.
Yep. So, I wanted to mention, 95-year-old William Shatner got off the plane, got in a car, drove to the set, walked directly into the set, and did his set tour. That's an hour on his feet. And then sat in that chair for an hour for a chat, and went right in the car, went right to the event for the preview of the Galileo, walked around that, and then went right to our dinner. Nonstop, 95 years old.
You would, I mean,
Yeah.
you would
that's a hell
never
of a day
think.
for me.
I mean,
yeah.
it's not. I don't think it's insulting to say, and he walks perfectly fine. I mean, it's not insulting to say someone who's 95. I mean,
Not at all.
At all, it's crazy. It's really. It's my part of me is like, is he really that old? Or is he just making that up?
God
I mean,
bless William Shatner. I
Yeah.
swear. Like,
Yeah.
not only that, but then
Amazing.
Saturday he had what? 4 tours, several tours,
He had 2 tours and 4 bridge chats. Yeah.
and then he had a dinner.
And they threw in a bonus tour and bridge chat on Sunday too.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez. And he had the 100 people dinner, and then he also signed autographs. Did he sign
have
them
been-
in the captain's
He
in his
signed him in the
quarters?
captain's cabin. Yes, he did. Signed him in
And
the
there are
captain's cabin.
pictures online. I guess I'll put one here. There was a line around the block in Ticonderoga. I mean,
No-
I wasn't
no
there Saturday.
exaggeration.
I
Yeah.
I
It
saw
was
the pictures. It
crazy.
was amazing. And we've been there enough times that when I see the picture of the outside, I understand the layout of the town and that street now. Like, it was legit across the parking lot and around the building, like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
How much more crowded was it Saturday than it was like Friday? Like 5 times the amount of people?
Yes.
Just looking at that picture,
Yes.
it was like, oh my God! I thought that we had a lot of people there.
No,
when I was there.
when at the end of Saturday, when Shatner was done with his tours, they started having regular tours, and they were running 15 people every 10 minutes. Boom, 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 boom.
And this
running
isn't even
sequentially
like
through the set.
Ticonderoga, right? This is just Shatner's set visit.
This is just Shatner, and there were some other stars there as well. Barbara Luna and a couple others. Kurt Russell's brother was there.
Kurt Russell.
Not Kurt Russell's brother.
Ron Howard's brother.
Ron Howard's brother.
Clint
was there.
Howard was there, and Phil Morris, or was it Phil?
I don't know. I hate.
Phil Morris, who's the one, Todd? Who's the one on Mission Impossible? His son.
Yes, Phil Morris is on Mission Impossible. What's his son's name?
Was he like in one episode of Star Trek? Is that why we're?
Yes, he was one of the kids, and he was also
Yes.
played the lawyer on Seinfeld.
Okay.
Jackie Childs. He played Jackie Childs.
Oh,
He
Jackie
also-
Childs.
he
Okay,
failed
yeah,
revival of Mission Impossible in the 90s, but
we had
Anyway.
we had a couple kids from that Gorgon episode.
The girl
And
from the
Michelle
one of
Lee.
those girls who was also like Felix Unger's daughter. Anyway, there were people there.
Yeah, other people there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was face it, the people were there for Shatner.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, it was awesome. I was thrilled to be there. So thank you, Brian. Thrilled to be at the dinner. I mean, all of us sort of support people, but you were right in the mix with
Dave
them.
is still a sales guy. He was in there pitching, "Hey, you need to upgrade your plaque." He sold so many upgrades. People went from the silver plaque up to the gold plaque because Dave was there going, "Hey, come on, when are you get another chance
We
to do
did
this?"
sell. I know it felt kind of dirty for reverting back to being a
Everybody's
salesperson.
a sales guy.
And we were packaging stuff, so there may be some good packages coming up, people. The combo mambo, we call it. Buy something super expensive, and we'll throw some crap in for free.
okay. Greg Morris was a Mission Impossible. Phil Morris is.
Phil Morris, yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You
Thank
had it
you.
right.
Yes, so.
Hey, well,
And
it's
he
all
was
going to
good dude.
support a really good, call it an experience. Like,
And fun
is gonna be an
cause. I mean, no,
experience.
it's good.
It's going to be an experience, and it's
The fact that this thing went from, if you listen to the episode with Adam Schneider, find that one. It was in somebody's freaking, in Ohio or wherever, in the middle of a field, dilapidated, and now it's going to be at like the perfect place for it. I mean, totally restored in this awesome building, and our friend had everything to do with it, which is awesome.
yeah, well, it's definitely it's taken an interesting journey for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
just from the pictures that you shared with us, I mean, it looks like it's in great shape. So,
It looks great.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It
all
is.
the
same-
traveling
The same
it's
guy
done-
that built. The same guy that built James' Batmobile sat down and polished up the Galileo, and it's perfect. It's really in great shape. But really impressed with the job he did.
can't wait
I
to
almost
see
wanna
it.
be there when
We'll
they-
take a picture of the two of those together because that's the 60s right there.
Well, the Batmobile was at the thing, right?
Batmobile was there Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed it.
But could you
Side
imagine?
by
like-
side with the shuttle, that would be.
Can you imagine getting the two of them in a picture together? Like,
That's
if
what
the
I'm-
shuttle's in the parking lot with the Batmobile before they put it in the building, that would be.
Yeah.
I'm
Take the
telling you,
picture.
that's an opportunity right there.
This may not be a question for while we're recording, but how soon before the weekend is the shuttle going to be rolling up?
That
whatever
is a
shit
matter of
is?
debate. It's because the video walls have to go up first. We have to wait for those to arrive. And I saw a picture of the crates that have left. There's 10 crates that are 10 by 10 by 10 coming.
I may just want those crates. I could use those.
Giant
No, that's
crates
true
coming.
because the shuttle has to go in, then the wall has to be closed up, and then the video wall has to go in.
We're still debating in what order that's going to go in because you can't if you ram the video wall with the shuttle, it's going to destroy it. So we got to be very, very careful.
But the video wall's on the wall with the hole in it.
I know it is.
You got to let me know when it's rolling up the street, because I may need to be there. If you're going to be there,
we'll make an announcement about that, because it's going to be quite an event to have it roll down the street.
That may be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, but again, Brian, awesome job. Dave Harvey, who we haven't had on the show, but he is the guy doing a lot of the mechanical and all that stuff, and certainly other people contributing to this. It's just been awesome. So thank you. It's fun. A lot of fun.
So
cool.
Before we transition into Supergirl stuff, since we talked about your involvement in this project, Dave, why don't you tell us what's going on From Dave's Workshop?
Sure. Probably stuff I still can't talk about, but people are posting, asking questions in Star Trek groups, about all this stuff, and I have gotten a couple people who need plaques and stuff. So thank you for that. But if you do need a display or plaque, check out FromDavesWorkshop.com. You can email me at FromDavesWorkshop@gmail.com, and we still have the stuff available from the Galileo, and anything else you need, hit me up. So cool. Oh, you changed. That's the wrong. That's the wrong
Nice
logo.
transition there.
You have the wrong logo.
Close enough.
But, okay. So Supergirl. So we
All right,
all saw it.
Supergirl.
Brian.
We all
Barry
I
saw it last night.
As we record, I saw it last night.
I saw it,
Which is good, because I'm not sure by the time the show drops, it may not even be in theaters anymore.
I know, it's been a while. It's already been a week.
I waited. When I saw it last night, it's already in my multiplex. It's already out of the big theater, and it's now in the small theater. So
yeah, that's too bad. I wanted to do well, but it's.
I'm so
whatever.
spoiled by the theater that I love to see movies in. Last night, the trailers were louder than the movie, which I was expecting when the movie came on for it to match the volume of the trailer. So before we get into the movie, I don't know if any of the rest of you saw this when you saw the movie. There was a 5-minute compilation reel of Tom Cruise movie clips.
It's not 5 minutes, and
It
and
felt like
watch your,
5 minutes.
And watch your tone, by the
And
way.
it rolled into the teaser for his new movie,
That
but
digger.
it was like clips from every movie that Tom Cruise has ever made.
Yeah.
And it just proves how awesome he is, right?
It was weird. I'm going to say this. It was a little weird. I'm like, what is all this about? And then finally I'm like, oh, okay, it's leading up to... It's like, don't forget how amazing Tom Cruise has been, because we're going to show you a weird trailer that...
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
It shows
I'm
you how
afraid.
powerful a producer he is, that he was able to get the
my God,
rights to
yes.
all those clips.
Tom Cruise is
Yeah.
the last movie star.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to say it before we got too far into this.
Yeah, did they show anything? They maybe even showed. I know there was something from Far and Away, and maybe even Cocktail, which is like, really?
Yeah, there was a scene from Cocktail. It was. I couldn't think of a movie that they didn't, or at least a franchise, because I don't think they showed every Mission Impossible movie, but they showed plenty of clips from Mission Impossible.
Plenty of clips from it. Yep.
All the Top Guns, Cocktail, Born on the 4th of July. It was everything I could think of was in there. Taps,
Yeah.
I think, was in there.
Taps was in there, and he was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he's awesome, so we all know that.
All right, so Supergirl.
Supergirl get trashed by the critics. Screw the critics, but they also trash movies by trashing it. I don't think it was great, but it wasn't horrible. Why does
I have come around to like really not caring about box office performance anymore, because I don't believe that it's an indicator of whether a movie is good or not. But,
and I don't think critics are either. But
that's part of what the critics are talking about is, oh my God, it's such a box office bomb. But that doesn't mean it's
And that's
a bad movie.
You
They
caused
were saying
it.
before, they were trashing this movie before it came out. This movie on Rotten Tomatoes is a 50% critic score and a 75% audience score. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like, who should you be paying attention to? Well, the reality is people are paying attention to critics. Okay, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's you know, they cut this movie off at the knees, and it's hard. There's two things going against this film. And before we talk about the film, is your core superhero film audience are not guys that are really excited about female-led films. Okay, the viewership for this was like over 65% male, and you know, we've seen this right down the line with almost every female-led superhero film, with the exception of Wonder Woman, and there's some reasons why that worked. But Gal Gadot. The other thing is, you have the opportunity to have something, and you say, "Oh, this is going to be inspirational for young girls." No. That is not the show. This is not the film that you bring your little girl to and say, "Here's what you want to aspire to be."
I mean, that message is buried in there somewhere, but it's certainly
It
not.
There's redemption at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, there's redemption.
It's a hard film from that standpoint. So it's got to find an audience on its own. It doesn't have the traditional superhero film. You don't have that fallback, you know, kind of kid thing, and you know, it's gonna have a tough time finding. I think this film's gonna do well over time streaming. I think a lot of people are gonna see this and be surprised at what it is, and like it. But it's a hard sell, and I mean, you put it this way. The plot is basically True Grit. Okay, you don't take your little kid to see True Grit. Okay, you know, it's a young girl on a, you know, wants to find someone to hunt down the person that killed her father. Okay.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, it's well, that was True Grit. Anyways, but,
No, I know, but it is also the movie. Just
yeah, no, but I'm saying it's yeah.
someone's gonna whine. I don't want to see it, but you spoiled it for me.
Listen, but
Screw you.
by the time this
People,
podcast comes out, it may be on
clear.
streaming.
It's very clear. Okay. At this point, I've spoiled True Grit, both the '69 version, the 2010 version, and now Supergirl. But it's an old story told differently, and you know, like I said, I like this. I liked it a lot. I like this version of the character. I think it was a pivot in a way that, you know, they could not make this a female version of Superman. They tried doing that, you know, in the what, 80s, and it just failed.
Well, and
so,
the TV show that ran for a few years was basically that too, right?
it did, but they had a lot of soap opera elements to it. and other
But
things like
in the
that.
for like all CW series, the first couple seasons of Supergirl were pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, it's just but this is, like I said, this was something very, very different they tried, and I like I said, I give them a lot of credit for doing it. I like the execution of it. I think there was a lot that was good in this. I've read the criticisms. I don't agree with a lot of them, and I gotta say, I really do like this character. I like this. You know, put it this way. You know, she's got an affect and a world weariness and an attitude that a whole lot of people of her generation have. She has a reason for it. Okay, you know, she's had a lot of bad happen in her life, and you know, and the explanation of who she is versus who Clark is makes absolute perfect sense. And
I really appreciated all of that. Yeah, she does have a lot of weight on her that he doesn't. Although, you know, and he's a different character, which is great. I mean, you know.
yeah,
What I found interesting is, I mean, I think, again, spoiler for a movie that came out over a year ago, but the fact that in Superman, the twist that his family basically sent him to Earth to conquer Earth and to reproduce, but yet they make it very clear, and it's the same family, it's just the brother of that guy sends his daughter with a completely different message, right? Like,
oh yeah, and
my son was asking me about that when we left the theater. He's like, but I thought that the Kryptonians were coming to Earth to basically rule.
Maybe Jor-El was just a jerk.
Jor-El was just a jerk, but there's also the whole idea of basically his race was surviving through him, okay? and maybe they took that to a little extreme attitude, but that was the thought. It's yeah.
Well, I went back and I pulled that scene because I wanted to remind myself, and then I also was watching some reviews of this movie. So Jor-El sends them to Earth to rule the planet, and they say dispatch anyone unwilling to serve you and take as many wives as possible so the Kryptonian race can continue.
Exactly.
But then his mom says, "Rule, but rule with mercy."
I think so. Like any other family, Jor-El was a Republican, and then whoever his father was a Democrat. There's certain ways people go about doing things.
It is interesting because Jor-El knows that his brother did that, right? Because they say it in this movie. They reference the fact that...
There's no question that he is not sending her on the same journey that
right.
Jor-El did.
But you look at how it turned out for each of them, right? He was sent there with that purpose, and he didn't go that way. And she was sent there,
but good.
And she, has a much harder time of it.
Yeah. Well, she lived through so much. She lived through the destruction of her family and her planet, and he really didn't.
Yeah.
Brian, what did you think? I'm afraid to ask.
It was, the thing I hate the most. It's indestructible people fighting each other, over and over and over.
There was a lot of.
All know how it's going to end. So either come up with some other storyline or get to the ending. So I was bored pretty much through the whole movie. The stuff with that was back on Krypton, awesome. And the clip at the end when she's with Clark, it's like, that's the movie I want to see. That's the movie I want to see. I want to see her on Earth with Clark.
Well, you'll see that next.
This whole. I mean, it could have been. This could have been a Captain Marvel movie. Why did it have to be Supergirl? What made this Supergirl as opposed to any other superhero fighting on some planet we've never heard of, fighting some villain we've never heard of?
Well, I mean, the core thing that made it Supergirl is her powers are dependent on being under a yellow sun, and that was the whole.
That was interesting
she
too.
She was intentionally running away from her powers.
Yeah.
And that element doesn't exist. They've never explored that element elsewhere in this mythos. It's always been, oh no, don't go to this planet because you're going to become normal and people will beat you up.
And she was trying to get away from who she was.
She was
basically.
trying to get exactly. Yeah. That's this is analogous to somebody like a kid going to Europe and trying to reinvent themselves or whatever. She was going to places where she was essentially powerless, but could still kick ass. Okay, to not be Superman's cousin, which was the template that was laid over the top of her, even though she's
that's would have been great if they've explored that instead of having her fight this guy. And what exactly does heat vision do? Does it cut things or push people around?
You modulate it. It doesn't.
This guy could.
I do think if you're super strong, it pushes you. If you're a human,
this guy could take a full blast of heat vision to the chest, but a sword kills him.
He has the strength of 10 men.
Exactly. Exactly, and it's very much like the physics of a lightsaber.
It does what it needs to do for the scene.
Immediately cut through other things.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you bump plants with it when you're running through the wood, when you're running through the forest, they'll move out of the way.
The fights were.
They were
so
the first time
so
it was
boring.
Fun. Then it was like the exact. I agree with that.
Well, that final fight scene felt, and I know that there was the director's edit of this movie, and then the studio took it and re-edited it late in the game after test screenings. And
I don't know if I'd like
the one
to
that
see
they
the
released was
director's
the studio cut, not the direct. There was some stuff that they definitely, you could tell they chopped down to keep the rating. Like, I didn't know this until I watched an online review of it today. Lobo beheads that guy and puts his head in a bag, but you barely see that.
You didn't get that from the movie?
It happened so fast, I really didn't catch it in the movie.
I don't know that I got that.
Yeah, it's the travel size.
Yeah.
But he's
like,
got the guy's head.
I get the sense that that might have been a longer scene, and they were like, "You can't behead somebody in this movie." So some
Why
of
not?
that felt a little chopped. I don't know. I mean, I never said I liked it. I didn't think it was nearly as bad as people are portraying it. I thought it was fine. but I don't want my movies to just be fine. That's kind of the
Yeah,
problem.
no,
Yeah,
It wasn't
I mean,
bad.
just-
It certainly wasn't bad.
just-
It just wasn't.
And honestly, it's the second DC movie. You know, I certainly I think James Gunn should have directed it. I mean, first one is great, good, whatever. As soon as the second one is a 1% worse, you're gonna get trashed. It had to be as good or better. I mean,
But he wants
and
Supergirl
Labeled
fighting
and-
with
and
Clark in the
looking to
next
label it
movie.
with the sophomore slump thing.
you know, you don't, you know, like Empire. You needed an Empire out of this
But
for
I think
people
if
not.
he
to
really
say,
wanted, Gunn really wanted Kara fighting with Clark in the next movie, and to do that, you needed because they threw drunken Supergirl in at the end of the Superman movie. You needed to tell this story or some version of it.
It's
No,
also.
I'm fine with the story.
Is also probably the best standalone Supergirl story in the last 2 decades, maybe 3 decades, and that was the source material for this. They deviated quite a bit from it, but it's the same core story.
Yeah, well,
And-
apparently the director admitted that he did not read it prior to starting filming.
Well, the director didn't read it, but whoever wrote the script did, because it was.
Well, she
there's
read
a
it
lot of
and then
things
she
with
altered it a lot.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying there are plot points lifted directly from that. It's yeah.
I think the story. I'm perfectly fine with the story, but the writing was, you know, a little one-dimensional. I think. I do think the direction was pretty horrible, and I mean that's why you think of James Gunn, and I think the performances, most of them were not great. And when I think of James Gunn and why I would have liked him to direct a movie, you think of him. Look at the character he pulls out of thin air with like a rocket raccoon, or you know, he has the ability to develop characters way more than even what's on the page. And this guy clearly, to me, does
and
not.
this was the thing. People were saying before this even came out that this looked too much like Guardians of the Galaxy. It could have been more like Guardians of the Galaxy.
It
Yeah,
certainly
and
could have.
The other problem was it was really muddy. It was such a
It
brown,
was muddy, but I'm saying you could have
movie
done
for Superman.
Could have worked some much more interesting characters in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could have pulled more. Even like to me, Lobo was very one-dimensional, almost a little bit cartoony.
But
And I
isn't
think
that
if-
Lobo.
That's Lobo.
I don't know.
That's Lobo.
But
I mean,
still, but I think James Gunn directing this would have gotten a better performance out of the characters, because that's
I
what
would
he
disagree
does.
with you that I don't think the performances were bad.
No, well, I mean, I have to say that one of the biggest issues with this movie is Millie Alcott is a little flat. I mean, I specifically went back and watched Superman again. Even the 2 minutes that Superman is on screen, he is Superman. She is. It's a struggle for her.
he's also-
She was not
right.
great, and I don't only blame her. I blame the director. I think her performance was not great.
Okay.
She has-
I would disagree.
Yeah, I
She has
disagree
no
too.
screen presence.
10% with that. And I'll say this, is it's really easy to portray a character the way everyone expects that character to be, and very hard to present a very different version of the character.
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying the
No, but
performance. She's
Gunn
flat.
And Gunn and Cornsweet did a great job of making him what everyone expected he should be. Okay?
But
Whereas she had to be a very different character. I actually think she did a great job.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I
at
have
all,
an
Dave.
issue with her.
You know,
I
think the younger girl was not all that interesting.
thought she had more screen presence than Supergirl did.
Supergirl was she was a little one note. I'll give Dave
was.
that.
Yeah.
It was
And
just,
granted, that was a great note. She was powerful, but
Right.
it was oh, woe
I
is
don't
me
feel like
note.
the actress was as comfortable in the character, no matter what it was, as she should have been.
Yeah, I disagree
I think
on
this
that.
movie would have been great if James Gunn had directed it. This guy didn't pull performances out of people.
If he did a rewrite, because it's still.
Well, he
I mean,
would have done a rewrite.
I mean, I've said this before too. A movie's only as good as the bad guy's plan. What was the bad guy's plan in this movie?
But hang on, just
Kill
going back
people.
to the
That's
rewrite
it.
question. I don't think for a second that James Gunn was Kathleen Kennedy here, right? He was involved in this. He's
Yeah.
running the studio. I'm sure he approved the script. I'm
Right.
sure that he
Yeah.
didn't look at that script and say, what has he been saying all along? We will not make a movie until we have a final
No,
script.
and,
it's great."
and maybe he did,
So
but I just
he
don't think.
clearly thought that this script was good enough. I
But
don't
then
think that.
a director who said he didn't read the thing, which I hadn't heard, is not
But
getting.
that's why the studio took it after the test screenings were coming back with 60 scores instead of 80s and 90s.
Well-
and they re-edited it at
Yeah.
supposedly like 3 months ago.
But
They re-edited
re-editing
it.
doesn't fix people who are flat acting.
No, I get that.
and that's
I'm just
his
saying.
fault.
I think they felt they had the right script. I think when the director turned in the movie, they felt like it wasn't good enough based on the screen test scores.
You know, the script just did not have enough going on. It was just, you know,
Yeah. But Brian,
steal
I'll
a
also
sword,
say that
steal some women.
Yeah, I agree.
all we got.
There wasn't
Right.
much of it, but
The
I just
thing with the villain's plan is, I mean, this was about them pursuing him, not necessarily about what he was doing. I mean, we don't really know what Ned Pepper's plan was in True Grit. They just were trying to track this
Yeah,
guy
there's
down.
no
and get
big
him.
bad here. The
That's what I'm saying. He's
they're
the
just
bad
going
guy.
about their raping and pillaging, and they were
that's what I'm
trying
saying. All he
to.
had to do was demonstrate consistently that he was bad and had to be taken off the board. Okay, this isn't a Lex Luthor situation, where whatever he's planning, you can just give it. You can just assume that it's bad, and that he should be stopped.
it could have
I
been a
would say
bigger character.
more definitively, and absolutely than in the book that this is based on, and I agreed with that. I did like how that was resolved.
I did not
so-
expect to hear Seth Rogen's voice come out of that little alien creature.
You know,
Is that who that was? I didn't know that.
it was, and you know, and that was kind of cute at first, and then I was like, they needed a bunch more things like that.
Right.
know, they need
that
more-
that
that's
bar
what
she
they-
walked into was incredible. It's like, do more with those people in that bar.
The alien
Bring
creatures
one
and
of
all
those guys
this.
along as a sidekick.
But that's
Something.
again that I go back to. It is directed. Look what James Gunn did with that freaking otter who died, and we all cried. Maybe not Brian, but and the walrus guy. Not everyone can do that.
No, Dave, I agree with you 100%. But like I said, I don't think, like I said, I don't think her performance was bad at all. I thought it was very good. You know, Lobo is a pretty one-note character, and I don't think there's any other person in the universe that can play him as well. Okay, you know, this probably should have chucked that book and made a Supergirl Lobo movie, and they probably could have made it work better. You know, put them at crossed purposes, you know, doing something, and because that's actually a very popular character that we really just saw a very, kind of snippets of. Again, it's I think it's a better film than it's given credit for. There are definitely issues with it.
I think that the one issue that I keep hearing talked about a lot, which I will agree with, is weird choices of music. Like, first of all, it seems clear that Earth music is being played everywhere in the galaxy. Of
course it
which is
is.
just weird.
No,
But, okay,
that's her soundtrack. Okay.
No. But
That's
they're
because
singing the
Star-Lord
girl
is
from
spread all
Ipanema
over.
in a bar on another planet. Like, that's not her soundtrack. That's a band playing it.
It's all been beamed out into
I
the
think
universe.
Earth culture is very pervasive out in the universe. You know, we've been broadcasting signals way out there, expecting
Yeah.
somebody's going to hear it. You know,
So that's fine. The one that I think everybody's complaining about, and I agree, that needle drop in the middle of the last fight where they play a cover version, a slowed down cover version of the song "The Middle" by Jimmy Eats World, does not work in any way, shape, or
I don't
form.
know anything. I wouldn't have known that.
It's a popular song from like 20 years ago. A lot of people know it, and it was a weird choice. And from what I read today, apparently the original cut had "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" in that spot,
that
and
would
they
have been
replaced
worse.
it might have actually worked better than this. Totally
Yeah.
took me out of that fight when that song started playing.
Yeah, that stuff registers a lot more for you than me.
Yeah.
But yeah. I appreciate you wore
It
Blondie
was.
t-shirts
It was.
and
I know
most
you're
people
saying
stuff.
True Grit. To me, I was getting John Wick vibes in the beginning of the movie because of
Yeah,
the
it's a little
dog.
John Wick.
You know.
Hey, Crypto's the MacGuffin in two two super movies.
Yeah.
And that was also kind of cheap. I think that was a
It
cheap
was a
shot.
little
And then
cheap.
that was
My
a-
dog's dying. I
yeah.
have to
That was a
find it.
direct lift from the book. That was the motivation for the book. It was also in some ways, it's also a nod to True Grit, because Glenn Campbell's character is going after the guy who killed the governor and shot the governor and his dog. Remember, that's a joke from the movie.
I've got to go watch True Grit again, Todd,
it's,
and see, because I don't remember it well enough to
Yeah.
counterpoint your points.
Yeah, but so
I was surprised there was no post-credit scene leading into, you know.
honestly,
Me too.
I kind of was too.
And everyone in
Yeah.
the theater stayed to the end. And
I wonder if they're trying to break the Marvel thing
Maybe.
by not doing that.
My
I
son
don't know.
Googled it while we were sitting there, so
Oh,
we
so
didn't
did
stay
I.
till the end.
So did I. I did too. I always do.
It wasn't a long movie either. It was like an hour and 50 minutes with credits. It's like not
Yeah,
long.
it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long.
Felt longer.
I wish. I don't know.
It didn't feel long to me.
I
I thought the pacing was pretty good up until that.
didn't
final
feel
fight was
slow
a
or
bit of a
too
mess.
fast, but like I said, I watched Superman like a couple days later, and that movie just gets better every time I watch it. It's
Superman, I gotta
so
say,
good.
it's almost flawless. I think
It
that's,
is.
That's, I like I said, it was a hard act to follow, particularly in that they were doing something completely different, completely out there. I would say,
85
if you like
minutes
this
into the
give
movie.
it 6 months and watch it again, and see what you think. And because
James, but you know the other problem is the next thing I got the trailer for Clayface. That whatever it is, that is not the follow up. You have one great movie that did well at the box office, critically acclaimed, audiences loved it, and you're gonna have two movies that people aren't gonna love. It's a shame.
Yeah,
He really should have
you say
directed
that,
the
Dave,
second
but-
movie.
But remember what we thought about Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember what we thought about Ant-Man. Remember what we thought about one of the things that's really worked in this superhero cycle is taking a character that nobody gives a shit about and doing something interesting with it. So
But
It
I'm
has to
just
be
saying,
interesting.
no, and I'll go first. If I'm giving Superman a 9.5, I give this a 6.5. And that's being generous. So he
Why are you
needed
being generous? Tell us what you really think.
no. I
go
mean,
for
yeah,
it.
a 6. I mean, whatever. He needed an 8 out of the next movie. I'm just saying, in the scope of here's this new DC thing now owned by these scumbags who you don't want to
Yeah.
piss off.
Well, here's the thing that I would say, though, which is I think maybe where part of this comes in. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, we always compare everything like to Guardians, and we say, oh, we were so surprised because that characters nobody knew. The problem with this is a lot of people know Supergirl because
Yeah.
there was a
Right.
TV series on.
and this isn't the Supergirl they expected. And,
Right.
Right.
And hasn't been since she showed up drunk.
Right, and what I was just about to say before, it's 85 minutes into an hour and 50-minute movie before she puts the suit on.
Yeah. Yeah, Todd, I mean, I know they were following a comic book, but I think they could have told the story you were talking about much better if she went to Earth, had an experience with Superman that didn't work out, left to get drunk, tried to work it out, goes back, can't make it work, and she's running away from the Earth. If she returned a couple of times and did Supergirl stuff on Earth and then ran away, it would have much more
We saw
compelling
more
story.
Earth and Superman in this than was in that whole graphic novel.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. This is.
I think they
this is
picked the wrong. They picked the wrong story.
Because this book deviates from 45 years of this character. Okay, and that's the whole point. And
Well, they originally billed this movie as Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and they backed off that
And they
because I
backed
think they
off of that.
realized that they were not telling that actual story.
yeah, no, I'll say the bones are there, but the bones. Put it this way: the bones that are there. It fits on a file card.
Yeah, it's
I
the,
blame
the,
whoever directed it. I
the
don't know
last,
who
the
it was.
last 2 minutes are the movie I want to see, and if that's the next movie, if they get to make it, I'll be the first one.
They're
in line to
filming
see
it now.
Well, they're filming it
Excellent.
now.
Yeah.
Excellent. Who's directing?
And Gary the robot is in it. We know that.
Yes,
If
we
you
do know
listen
that.
to the
Oh.
Once We Were Spacemen podcast.
Yeah, Alan.
Right?
Alan
That's great. That's
talked
great.
Is
about
Guy
someone-
Gardner in it? I don't know. Don't you think he would have said something?
I think he would have said something. He didn't.
He should be.
Maybe he's
Barry,
not
what do
allowed
you give it
to.
for a number?
I'd give it a 7. I wanted it to be an 8 or a 9.
It's 5.
Five.
It's a 5. I was so bored, and I'd read some of I'd heard the reviews. I had my expectations lowered, and it didn't help.
What's your number, Todd?
I would say just under a 7. If I got like 6.75, something like that. It's better than a 6.5, and it's just maybe a tick.
All right, I'll put this away. Because that's an honest assessment. Yeah, I think.
No,
and
it
what's
is. Oh no, it's not what it should be. But I'll tell you, I will argue. I think she did a great job with that character. I really do. And
I would like to see
I
someone
found the
else
character
direct her.
interesting. I found this circumstance interesting. I found it. I like the bones of this. I like the basic structure of this. I like that character. I think they didn't do the right things with it. And
She needs more screen presence. I don't think she has it. But
I don't think I didn't have a problem with the screen presence, and I'll be honest, I did not have a problem with her look in this movie at all. And I know there's been
Yeah,
a
look
lot
is
talked
fine.
about with that. Like,
I didn't have a problem
Well,
with that.
I guess when you have superpowers, a brush won't work in your hair. You can't
Yeah.
actually won't move
no,
the
it's
hair.
when you're an
because they're
alcoholic.
so
brushes
super
don't
that
go in
you
your hair.
you can't
Brian,
brush your hair.
have you met a 23-year-old? Okay, it's like, it's. I'm telling you, I spent 24 years around, younger girls. I'm telling you, this is a real relatable character to me.
Because Todd worked in an all-girls school. I just want to help.
Yeah,
help
this
you.
is-
Yeah. Not for any other reason than
Working all
that.
girls. And I'm saying, I've met dozens of different versions of this girl, and I said I found the character very real, relatable, and I think she did a great job.
I appreciate that she was wearing a Blondie T-shirt through most of the movie.
Yeah, I did too.
What are the reports from younger girls who I think this movie was aimed at?
This movie was
this-
not aimed at younger girls.
You don't think it was aimed at? You don't think this is a for girls movie?
No, this is a swing at a 20, 30 something audience, and it just missed. That's.
I'm sorry, Todd. 20 to 30-year-old girls are younger girls to me.
Okay, no. I thought you were talking kids. Okay.
I thought you were
No,
talking about
no, no.
teenagers.
No, 40-year-old girls. Oh, they're
Yeah.
anyway.
They like to be called women, though, not
Put it this
girls.
way, yeah. I was gonna say it's not even the Barbie movie audience.
No, because I saw this with my wife. She's a big Superman fan. She also did not like this movie. So it's not older women. It doesn't touch
my
either.
wife
So maybe
knows nothing
younger.
about the character whatsoever, and she liked it a lot. She did. She liked it. It was very different. She liked that it didn't feel like a DC movie where everything just it's yeah. So again, but that is the great thing. We can all see things and see different things.
Yeah.
It just doesn't help as they're trying to build a new studio and relaunch DC as
Yeah.
a theatrical
They needed
property.
a better follow-up.
I will say, I wish it was better than it is. It's better than people say it is, and I also simultaneously think this was a missed opportunity. This
I totally agree. I mean,
should have been handled better than it was.
now with the people who now own Warner Brothers, they could easily, your second movie flopped. We're going to pull this whole thing. I hope that doesn't happen. You know,
I don't think again.
who knows?
do
You know, with
everything.
business, it's tricky. And then they got this Clayface, which I don't know what it is. It looked like a horror. Did anyone see the Clayface trailer?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
It was like a horror movie.
I don't know
I'm
what
not
to
sure.
make
I
of
don't
it.
think I saw it.
I almost put that thing on the freaking shelf and wait till Man of Tomorrow.
See, my problem is I don't know the Clayface comics. I think of Clayface, I think of the Batman animated show and at the big orange giant Clayface guy.
There's a number of different versions over the years, and I also say that Clayface movie does not have to be a Superman movie. Okay, it does not.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but I'm just worried that the third DC movie of the new studio is not going to be.
This is meant to be a smaller thing. Okay, and it's going to be a proving ground for doing some of these smaller side characters without spending a fortune and expecting to make a fortune.
The headlines will be 2 strikes for new DC studio. I mean, I'm not, and maybe it's gonna be great, but I'm just telling you, he really
Okay,
should have done something
in the last decade. In the last decade, what's the highest grossing DC film? By far,
I don't know.
Joker.
Probably, huh?
Joker, really?
Ugh, and don't even.
It is
That's a
by far.
disgrace.
Okay?
Yeah, I know.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's may not be the, so we weren't the audience for that film, but there was an audience for that film. So we'll see.
But not for the second one.
Boy, the second one is did you try watching it, Barry?
I watched it. I did.
Oh my god,
It's terrible.
it's beyond terrible. It's
Not just a bad movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Horrible film, and it's like it is a perfect example of like, oh, this was successful, so we're going to let the people do anything they want. And
Yeah,
Well,
there's
it
a lot of
felt
that.
like what Ryan Johnson did to me. It's like, oh,
yes,
they have an
no,
expectation of what this
okay,
should be. We're going to
that is a
completely flip
perfect
it on its
analogy.
head.
It totally is,
Yeah.
and it is a perfect analogy. It's like we can do no wrong, so let's do all the wrong that we can possibly do.
Love and Thunder, same thing. Taika Waititi's the greatest thing ever to come to the Marvel universe. Let him do whatever he wants, and he does the worst Marvel movie
Boy,
made.
that's another good example. Yeah.
Before we go down the negative highway that I am I've paved
You have
with my own.
Dave, you say you're the positive one.
I'm positive it's negative. Let's go. What's in the box, so we can get this. Let's a nice
Sorbet.
palate cleanser
palate cleanser.
of buying stuff. And I do want to give a shout out to Nathaniel Canner, who we met at Star Trek Weekend, Shatner Weekend, and he is a bit long-time listener. He listened back to when we were telling people to buy one company phasers at Best Buy for $50. That's got to be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a
And
deep
he,
cut.
bought a lot of them. So
I'm not sure if he blamed us or thanked us for making him buy a lot of stuff, and that's what
He
we
should
do
be
to each
thanking
other.
us. Only
So
thanking us.
thank you for listening and being such a long time fan, Nathaniel. So thank you. What are we doing? Let's go, Todd. What's in the box?
okay. So this is the Enterprise. Let's see, EFG. Okay, from Picard. Okay, in none of these are in scale, but this is the XL version. This is from Fanholm, which DeAugustine that took over for the and for Eagle Moss. Awesome.
That's the one that was designed by a fan. Remember?
No, it's not.
I told that story.
No, it's the
The
Titan was
producers.
designed by a fan.
The what?
The Titan was designed by a fan.
Aren't the F and the Titan the same shit? Or am I
No,
getting it wrong?
This is the thing, okay?
Or the G
This
and the
is-
Titan are the
This is
same
the
shit.
biggest issue I have with this ship, okay? So
Okay.
this was the refit Titan, okay? The Titan A, which it should not have been A if it was a refit, but it was the refit Titan, okay, that they then made into the Enterprise at the end of Picard.
Right.
okay?
Same ship, right? No?
This is the Titan. Okay? There is no way. Okay? There's nothing between these
didn't the
two.
Titan
One
change-
is a neck, one doesn't. I mean, it's like there are no similarities. There's no similar lines anywhere between these two things. You can't refit this into this unless you ground it up into pieces and and it's like
Maybe they did.
Didn't the Titan change shape during Picard? Or am I?
no.
No?
But I'm saying this was the original
Okay.
Titan.
That was
You
the
know,
original
which
Titan.
We really only saw on screen in Lower Decks. But I'm saying this is the fan designed ship,
Right.
which I think is a great design. It's very, very cool. I got to say, Riker captained it, and then later was the admiral in charge of it. Okay, he must have really banged the shit out of that ship. When they cleaned it up, it looked like this.
That looks like that. Okay.
Because there's, like I said, there's just, again, we're talking about a guy that crashed the Enterprise D. So
Yeah.
who knows? He may have fragged it. But, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's you can't get from there to here. But that aside, it's a very cool model. I have a F on back order, and which was seen on screen for like a nanosecond in Picard, and so I had to have that too. So I will have have all these screens seen actually in Canon Enterprises. So that's that. And I paid the stupid tax for this because I had to go on eBay and get it, and I got a reasonably good deal compared to what people have paid. But yeah, so that's my what's in the box. Barry, what do you got?
Well, I look at the pretty picture because I can't hold it up, but
Yep.
back in 1994, I got a Clerks poster when Clerks first came out. In 2002, I started having autographs put on it. I went to a Kevin Smith film festival. I got the whole cast pretty much of Clerks with exception of one person to sign it. It was in a poster tube in a closet in my basement, and we had a bad storm and we got flood damage, and all up one side of the entire poster was water stained. And I was heartbroken. And when we met the people at Poster Conservation, we've had them on the show. We've done a show from there. I asked them, hey, is this something you think you could fix? Because it's a white poster with this big yellow water stain that went all the way down the side. And they were like, yeah, we can fix that. So I gave it to them, and I just got it back recently, and it's beautiful. They linen backed it, and they got any sign that there was ever any damage to this thing is completely gone.
They do amazing work.
Posterconservation.com, not a sponsor, but a friend
Yeah,
of
not
the
a
show.
sponsor, but we love those guys, and
Yeah.
and they do amazing work, and their prices are so reasonable. Like, I was a little worried that even if they could fix it, it was going to be so expensive just because of what it was. It wasn't worth, and it was really. I was shocked at how
Barry,
affordable it was.
you had signatures on there, and that's the that was
Yeah,
the,
there's
to me,
like
that
10
was the scary
autographs
part.
on there,
You had
and
water
they were like,
damage and signatures, and yeah.
and they were great. They tested it to
Crazy.
make sure that the signatures wouldn't be affected. And again, I'm not trying to do a commercial for them. I was
No,
so happy
they
with the
deserve
job
it.
they did. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. So I have a picture that we'll put up of the before and after, so you can see what it looked like and what it looks like now. So super happy that got fixed.
Yeah.
Brian, what's in the box?
Well, you may have heard I was at Ticonderoga last weekend.
Oh yeah, I heard Shatner was there.
Yeah, and these things just came out. So the same guys that brought you the Tranya glasses have made the Captain's Cocktail glasses, and these glasses are in every reception scene in Star Trek. And it comes in a box with 3 different color glasses.
Oh wow.
And once you've seen them, every time you see Star Trek, you'll see them because they're.
Those
Nice.
are cool.
So
I think I have
Dave,
that set,
did you
too.
get any of these?
I
at the
have
dinner?
all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's okay to say, they also had those at everyone's place at the dinner.
Oh,
BD
nice.
must have bought them and put them there. And people left them I had a blue one. People left them behind. And I'm like, I'm taking an amber and a green. So I have all
Are
3
those
also.
currently for sale, Brian?
They are. They're. You can't
At the
get them
tour.
at the tour, and only at the tour right now.
Oh, so
Yeah.
when we're there in September.
You can
Awesome.
pick up a box set in September. Yep.
Or maybe sooner, Brian, when you're back next. 'Cause-
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be up there a few times.
Yeah,
I
was
have
gonna
them in
say,
my-
I don't want to take a chance of missing those. That's very cool.
Yeah, Dave, did you get a box?
I did not get a box.
I think I may have a box.
Okay. Thank you.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I put them in my
You did
glass
3
shelf.
colors?
Okay. 3 colors.
3 colors. They're with
Yeah.
my Tranya glasses that I will drink out of them.
Oh yeah, you got to use them.
We were supposed to drink out of them last time we were all together, and we didn't get to.
We didn't. What? I don't know what happened, but
Something happened.
we'll drink out of these and those.
All right, Dave, what's in the box?
Okay, so I'm shifting gears from Star Trek and
Clerks.
Clerks, but I have a Indiana Jones 45th
look at
anniversary hat that they
wow,
have been
cool.
selling at Disney. They've been selling out restocking, selling out, restocking. They've been kind of hard to get. So it's got a little 45th anniversary patch on it. And then, friend of the show, Alex Arnold, has been talking about them. And he literally, I think he gives, every other day reports of, are they in stock or are they out of stock? Because he's got his sort of, minions all being like, oh, they're in stock. They are usually at Keystone Traders. If you've been to Hollywood Studios, you go up from the entrance right before the little lake. There's a green building there. That's where all the Indiana Jones stuff is. So anyway, I'm like, oh, I got to get one of those. But Mark's friend is working at Galaxy's Edge as a photographer for the summer. So he mentioned it in passing, and she sent me one along with a sketch of Indiana Jones. She's an artist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was going to say,
nice
where did
that
that sketch come from? That's great.
Yeah, she did this great sketch. She's an artist, and she loves Star Wars. And I'm like, you got good friends. I like that. So
That's awesome.
that is my what's in the box. Cool.
Fantastic.
Todd, you had a last thought?
I have a last thought. Last week, June 28th, a guy named Melvin Kaminsky turned 100 years old. We all know him as Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Just wanted to wish Mel Brooks a happy 100th birthday. Amazing guys, produce some incredible stuff, and I would say Young Frankenstein is probably my favorite of his things, and that's a pretty incredible milestone. But
He's
for
one
a guy who's done
tenth of the way to
great
one-
work in his lifetime.
He's 1/10 of the way to a 1,000-year-old man.
There you go. He can no longer play with Legos.
Yep,
It
he's
says
not
like
allowed.
ages 9 up to 99.
Yep, that's right. Yes,
99,
Yep.
yeah.
but that's
for
like I
him.
said again. It's
Will we be
100,
having a Shatner 100 birthday party? Oh my
Wow.
God!
Wow.
You
That'll be something.
you would not think it couldn't happen because he's so energetic
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
I'm not sure I would arm wrestle him at his 100th birthday.
No.
I think he is the best living example of don't slow down.
Don't
Don't
slow
slow
and that's
down.
what he said. I think someone at the dinner, asked the question we always have, like how do you keep going? Well, what do you, he's like, I have stuff on my calendar. I keep going. If I keep going, I know it. I'll keep going, and that's it. So
That's great.
good for him. Yeah.
Love that.
All right. Awesome. So if you go to Back Your Kid and buy,
Yeah.
don't buy stuff. You're pledging money to get stuff to help a good
Right. Yeah,
fun
you're
cause.
helping
And
us,
coming away with cool swag at the same
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening and/or watching.
Thanks for backing.